What's up, Canucks fans? It's Chris Faber here for Canucks Army on a casual Friday, here to talk about the number 6 Vancouver Canucks prospect, right-shot defenseman Jonathan Myrenberg. Myrenberg was selected in the 2021 NHL entry draft. He was selected in the 5th round by the Vancouver Canucks, and that means he's only 19 years old right now. He is not currently playing at the World Junior Championships, but will still be eligible to play in the 2023 World Juniors that'll be taking place this December. As I mentioned, he's a 6'2" right-shot defenseman. Obviously, that is a position of need, and to be able to see some size in his game is also very important for a right-shot defenseman who specializes in being a pretty good defensive defenseman. He played in 15 SHL games last year, and that's pretty damn impressive for a guy who was 18 at the time. He just turned 19 in April, so still a very young prospect in the Canucks' system. In those 15 SHL games, from speaking to people who were at attendance for the SHL games and getting a chance to watch him online as well, there were some pretty impressive things about Myrenberg's game. Defensively, that's where we really like what we see in Myrenberg. He's a player who's able to use his size, use his skating to shut down passing lanes, but also be effective enough and smart enough to anticipate where passes are going through the neutral zone. As a right-shot defenseman who specializes in being defensive, that's something that we really like about Myrenberg. From speaking to him at development camp, even though he is a defensive defenseman and has kind of always been that throughout his career, he's wanted to add a little bit more offense to his game. And you're likely going to get a good chance to see that next year, as he's going to be loaned to the Swedish second division called the Allsvenskan, and he'll be playing with Mora next season. That's going to give him more opportunities to get a lot of ice time, as in the SHL he did have a few games where he was up in the high teens for minutes, but most of his averages were just sitting around 7, 8, 9 minutes when he was playing SHL games last season. Still, at 18, that's damn impressive to see what he was able to do, and Jonathan Myrenberg has kind of shot up our charts after getting a chance to see him in person at development camp. He's bigger than we thought he was. He looks a little bit bigger when you get a chance to see him on the ice, and that's something that he's been working on, as he's been trying to add weight. As he mentioned to us at development camp, that he showed up to the SHL and he was way too skinny. So he's been adding a little bit of weight, and getting a chance to play in the Allsvenskan this next year will definitely be an opportunity for him to not only play more minutes, but be able to work on his body, and seeing him get to a level where he probably feels a little bit more comfortable being a pro. Myrenberg's a great skater. That's something that we could definitely see popping off the screen on the SHL play that we saw, and got an opportunity to see it in person at development camp as well. He has a good view of the ice, and that's something that Brian Johnson even mentioned to us in a post-practice interview at development camp, about how he was impressed about the anticipation behind Myrenberg and how he's able to break up passes in the neutral zone, as well as be able to kind of open up the ice a little bit with his skating and passing when he's looking to do some breakouts. He's got a defensive background, as we mentioned, working on that offense, and that's something that we're excited to see what he gets an opportunity to do at the Allsvenskan. He should be getting time on the penalty kill and hopefully the power play as well, but the thing that we want to see big time for him is just to get to that playing weight that he's comfortable with. I think just 1 year is all it's going to take for him in the Allsvenskan before he gets back into the SHL. As for an NHL or North American landing point, we just don't really know. I think there's an opportunity for him to grow a couple more years in the SHL. Let's not forget, he's still just 19 years old, and maybe around the age of 21, 22, that's when we can start to have the conversation about him potentially coming over to North America to play in the AHL or the NHL. There's lots of time, and he's going to get lots of ice time next year when he's in that Allsvenskan league, and we're excited to follow what he can do. Probably because he is the number 1 right defense prospect in the system for the Vancouver Canucks right now. So we're excited to watch him grow next year. And like we said, don't really have a landing point for him coming over to North America, but we like the size, we like the skating, and we like the hockey smarts from the best right D prospect in the Canucks system. So we'll wrap it up there on number 6, Jonathan Myrenberg, on our top 10 prospects rankings. For Canucks Army, I'm Chris Faber in this beautiful shirt.